so much. I am going to talk to you guys today about something that is just become really passionate about in the last couple of months. Recently, I read a book called Paradise in Hell by Rebecca Solnit, and she basically talks about what happens to communities around disasters. And it really shows that when a disaster happens, a community doesn't have to devolve into chaos. They can actually come together and build something stronger that makes them more resilient. Let's go to my slides. Right now, there is a challenge for the district. We are facing budget problems. There's definitely lower enrollment than we would have had, and there's higher inflation, higher costs due to cost of living expense increases, and PERS. But we have a choice right now. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. We can choose to look at this like a crisis, or we can look at it like an opportunity. If we look at it like it's a crisis, then we might do things that are reactionary and make choices out of fear. But if we choose to look at this as an opportunity, then we can think about this creatively and build something a lot bigger and stronger that leaves a lasting impact for decades. So let's go to the next slide. So this is all about what is a full-service community school. And a full-service community school integrates academics, health, and social services. It just really treats the child as a whole. It's whole child learning with wraparound services. And it's proven to improve student achievement, attendance, which I know is something we are really focused on right now, and well-being. So let's go to the next slide. And this is a whole wall of text that I'm not going to read to you. But this is all the things that a full-service community school can be. And I'll make sure that this ends up on the report. And what this basically shows is the sky is the limit. Next slide. Okay, so the benefits of a full-service community school is it can make our small schools affordable. It can also boost academic performance. It supports mental health and well-being, and empty classrooms are reimagined as something for the community. And the best part about it is we have pretty much already been doing this. We are either doing it now or we've done it in the past. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the biggest part is how do we do it? And I want to make an ask today. I would like to ask that the district put out a survey to all of our communities and find out what needs our communities have. Because having a district-sanctioned survey would be really helpful, and it's the first step to creating a full-service community school. The next part is once we know what our communities need, then we can start partnerships with nonprofits, with local businesses, and with our city. And we can start setting up classes, and we can also reach out to grants to get funding, and then build our programs around that. So we can use our existing spaces and focus on wraparound services for our students. Next slide. Okay, so these are really exciting. These are the success stories. So Sun Community Schools is in Multnomah County, and they offer health services and family services, and they strengthen communities and promote equity. The Newton Community Schools in Massachusetts was really interesting, and that's because they are an affluent district. And one of my favorite things about them when I was researching them is I looked at the kind of services they offer, and for adults, it was like travel packages internationally, and business classes, and investing classes, and bridge and canasta for seniors, and dance classes and yoga classes. And I'm like, can we just be Newton Community Schools right now? Can we just do what they're doing? But they also have classes for kids where it's STEM and art and music, and they do life preparedness classes, like all the stuff that everybody always talks about that nobody does in school, like when nobody teaches kids how to balance a checkbook. Well, you could do that with a full-service community school. So basically, let's go ahead to the next slide. That's what they do, but I wanted to address some concerns. A lot of people will look at that and go, well, that sounds like it's expensive. That doesn't sound like it's going to make us money. But reality is that you can do grants and partnerships to cover costs and even generate additional funds. And another question would be, how long will it take? But pilot programs can start right away, and then you can scale it as you grow. The next part is that it sounds really complicated. When I was telling everybody else about it, everybody's like, that sounds like a lot. But actually, we've been doing this already. We just need to reach out and get the funding for it and expand on what we're already doing, or maybe we used to do it in the past. I know that Bolton, when it opened in 2001, had 4 preschools there, and we were renting out some of our rooms to preschool, to other preschool businesses. So we could just do that again. And then the other thing is, I keep hearing, oh, grants are only for disadvantaged neighborhoods. Well, this specific grant is not income dependent. So it might be more competitive, and we may have to hire a grant writer in order to do it, but you don't even have to get the grant to make this profitable. Just finding the businesses and the partnerships could make a difference, because if you're leasing out space, you've got empty classrooms, and then you lease out those classrooms, well, then you don't need to fill those classrooms with kids anymore, because you're using those classrooms for other things. And it could be any kind of thing, like we could have health services in there as well, which is really neat. So next slide. I think that might be pretty much it. Yeah. So, the full message about this is we have a choice right now. So we have to decide, are we going to react in fear, or are we going to look at this challenge and face it head on and do something really big, because we have an opportunity to do that right now. And we just need to decide who we want to be.